Good day everyone, I hope you are well. My name is Nick, we're on the ZXspectrum 128K this time, and we're looking at a game called Subway Vigilante, published by Players Premier in 1989. It's a beat 'em up, I think influenced by Renegade perhaps. Good music, also come out on the Amstrad CPC, the BBC Micro and the Commodore 64, and would have cost you just £2.99 back in the day. Now, essentially, you're a fighter and you must protect law-abiding citizens on the underground or the tube from punks, drug dealers and muggers. You must wipe out rival gangs. So here I am in the middle. Let's see how this way plays. I've got a kick there and punching. Moves a bit unusual, but it's not so dissimilar to Renegade at the moment. Target Renegade 2, that was a nice little kick. So there's all these bald guys at the moment that move. That's weird. That's so weird. Okay, so we've got a certain area we can go down. It's going to stop at a moment. So we're at one underground station. That takes care of him. Now, I understand you must beat 15 gang members in this, and then the leader, before then you go to the next station. All the time, I think, in the middle, I thought that was time ticking down. Looks like it's stuck on 97. Interesting. And our lives are in the right there, which is 4. I can punch, I can kick. It's not the easiest of controls in the world. My energy bar is represented by that green, vertical bar there. So it says Subway Vigilante in the bottom there, just in case you've forgotten what game you were playing. Right, okay, so as a fighter, it's sort of like okay at the moment. Hope it advances a little bit beyond this. I would have liked to have a 2-player mode. That would have been pretty good. Unless there is one there and I just didn't see it. Come on, sir, don't rip your trousers. Punch him. So hopefully I punch out all these guys, then we'll get to the next stage. Now, the music was at the start, at the title page, but it doesn't seem to be in the game at all. So it did come out on the 48K as well, so I'm presuming the gameplay is exactly the same, and the only difference possibly is the music, which is not really worth owning 128K for that big difference. I'm getting a bit bored of all these characters. They all seem to be exactly the same. I'm trying to do adventurous moves, but it looks like the kick seems to be the best move to do, so just stick to that one and avoid getting cornered by everyone. Now, it's interesting you can go in one direction. They seem to follow you. So this might be the way of taking out all of the time. But they keep getting up, one at a time. How many times do you have to knock them over? That's probably the 3rd time I've taken him up. Right, now if they keep getting up forever, this game's going to be very laborious. We're in the underground. I haven't seen any of the citizens we're supposed to protect. I think we'll just be fighting the whole time. But the sprite is an okay size. It's got the moves there, so it isn't too bad for that. I don't seem to be able to jump up doing the flying kick at some stage. Now there's a guy with a big bat. Keep an eye on how many people we've destroyed. It says 15 in magenta there on the right next to the green vertical bar. Hopefully that's something. If you had this game back in the day on any system, let me know, because if you played it a lot, you probably would have got more out of it than what I'm going to do. These reviews are just about how you would experience the game on your first and second go as a kid. Would you have been impressed, or would you have never loaded it ever again, or started crying in your bedroom to take your parents to take it back and get you something else? It's okay for $2.99. I don't think I would have wanted to pay too much for it, so I have to bear that in mind. I wouldn't mind the level ending quite soon. The counter's down to 14. But yeah, it's going on a bit too long. I would have perhaps preferred shorter levels. And yeah, a bit like a Target Renegade, or Renegade 2 if you want. I wouldn't mind, they bumped into that column, the Wallies. I wouldn't mind shorter levels and a boss at the end of each level. And maybe weapons you can pick up, a bit like Double Dragon, I suppose. But this game is better than Double Dragon, because that was a poor conversion on the ZXspectrum. My guy looks a little bit like Shakin' Stevens. This old house, da-da-da-da-da. This old house, something else. Or Elvis Presley, one of the two. Let's just say Shakin' Stevens. I'm gonna need this house no longer. I'm gonna need this house no more. Ain't got time to fix the shingles. Ain't got time to fix the floor. Right, now it's 13. I digress then, as I often do. There's 13 of these hoodlums to actually beat up. Looks like they're all wearing glasses, but the glasses aren't shattering at all into their eyes. Graphics of the background's good. It scrolls okay. I'm just a little bit bored. Maybe I'm wanting too much. As I said before, the level's going on a bit too long. Now, if my energy bar goes completely to 0 and I die, I will maybe have another go and put the poke in for infinite lives or energy, just so I can try and get off level 1. But I've got a funny feeling I might not do. Does it play like this on the BBC Micro and the Commodore 64? Let me know. I said the Comedy 64 then. This game was a bit like that. Right, take that. It's the same move every time by me, or there's a few extra moves you can do. The counter says 12. This is going to take absolutely ages. Started with 15. I feel like I've been playing it 100 years, and we're just down to 12. There's a guy with a big bat there, so I presume they're going to get more and more beefy, these people turning up. Got a good score. 4 lives left. I think that's 4 lives. Right, please be the end of the level. It must be the end. It's not going anywhere else. So we've got a set play area. We can go backward and forward to try and lure individuals as we get surrounded by these Mohican dudes. Come on, Shaking Stevens. He does look a bit shaky here. The game's a bit shaky. Imagine this character in school days as one of the teachers. He would have told Einstein a thing or two. I cannot tell a lie. Karate kick to the head. That will sort out Einstein. In school days, it's a good game. Right, I've been flattened again. Energy's down to 0. I've lost a life. Back again. Here, I have to start all over again, do I? It's up to 16 now, that magenta counter. I'm not a fan of that. What? What's going on there? I feel like I've been conned. Maybe we should put a cheat in for Infinite What's-her-names. It's up to 99 again, that thing. Maybe it's 99 people we have to kill before the end. Who knows? It's definitely not a timer, is it? Because it's not ticking down. Maybe my pokes worked. I don't think the poke has worked. Sometimes they don't. But we won't be hanging around here forever, because what seems to be potentially a good game, it's got good graphics and the movement is sort of okay. It's sort of like, I don't know why, for me it's sort of like turning into a bit of a dull affair. It goes on too long. That's what it is. I've told you why it's a bit of a dull affair. It goes on too long. We should be hitting end of level bosses by now, and all sorts of stuff and things to pick up and amusing bits and elevators, but we're not. We're just going backward and forward. It's almost as if this is like a demo, like a playtesting thing, where the guys will just keep turning up forever and a day. Maybe they will. It seems to be a bit easy if you corner one of the opponents into the end of the screen so they can't back up the distance and just keep kicking them in the nose. I want to turn this off now, but I won't do because we're doing a review type thing. So if you're looking for a beat 'em up, I would say stick with Renegade and Target Renegade. Do not play Renegade free. That's worse than this. So this is better than that. Beat 'em up's always a bit hard to accomplish. A Mighty Final Fight, there was a sort of like homebrew of that one. If you want to check it out on the channel we reviewed, can't quite remember what its real name was, but it's something like Mighty Final Fight. That was pretty fast in the last few years. That was made at time of recording. I think we've seen this gameplay before, haven't we? Really? Yes. If you watch the videos live as they go up, we did review another game today on the ZXspectrum there. So take a look on that one. It was a pinball game called Flip Flap. Flap, flip, flip, flap. Yeah, so completely different to this. I try and vary it as much as I possibly can. You might not have heard of Subway Vigilante, but here it is, doing its stuff. 1989, so in the 80s. Hasn't made it to the 90s yet, so still just about in the Spectrum's commercial run. So the idea is, each station is over 3 levels. You take out the 15 gang members. You can see I'm still on 14 to take out. Then the end of level boss turns up, and once you've taken all of them out, you get on the train. I don't think you do get on the train, but in theory you get on the train, and it goes to the next underground station where you have to do the whole thing again. Where's the guard here? I mean, the London Underground, or wherever this is, it might be the New York Underground. Well, they need to sort this out, because you're supposed to be protecting the normal pedestrians. There's no one travelling on this train. It's not even going anywhere. There's no ticket inspectors at all. Yeah, perhaps that's why there's no pedestrians, because they have to wait too long for a train, and there's always people going backward and forward fighting down the station. There used to be these, I think this game might be based loosely, there used to be I don't know what they was called now. They used to have red berets on and used to be on the underground to protect people. I think it started off in New York and moved over to London to a degree, but you don't see them anymore because there's no hoodlums down there. There's no rival gangs trying to take over the underground because it stinks down there. The air quality isn't good. You breathe in quartz and stuff, and it's not healthy for you. If I didn't wear a mask when I used to use the underground, but if I went there now, because I've got lots of masks in store, I would definitely wear one. God knows what I was breathing in. It's supposed to be quartz off the actual steel track, and the pollution for the trains, it can't filter out anywhere, and yeah, awful in the summer when it gets really hot. If you're travelling on the underground, then well done to you. Hopefully you don't have to go too far, wherever it is, London or elsewhere. The worst line I felt on London was the central line, where you crammed in, well, whenever there was a space. It really was ridiculous. But there we go. Right, how's Elvis doing? I mean, Shakin' Stevens are one of the two. Thank you very much. Yeah. I don't think I can take this too much longer, you know. We're not making any progress. Magenta line's 12. Gone down to 11 left. If you completed this, then well done. You must have had quite a bit more patience than what I'm having. If you haven't noticed, the poke is working. I've got infinite energy now. That green line's not going down whatsoever. I was hoping it'd be quite quickly to get that down, but there's no way, looking at the time I've been playing this so far, there's no way I'm going to be playing this for half an hour just to get to the next stage for what is going to be essentially the same gameplay, and the bosses I don't think will be too much different from the people I'm fighting already. If it was an arcade game, there was some killer music while you're doing it, that might keep you entertained, but you know, although it's an unfair comparison, if you put this alongside Streets of Rage, it's nothing like it at all. I mean, bits are good, graphics are good, movement is good, together as a game. Yeah, they've just got the balance of the thing wrong. It's just balance is wrong for me. Wouldn't have held my interest as a kid, although I would have said, yeah, meh. I just wouldn't have gone back to it. It wouldn't have captured my interest, despite being sort of half a sort of like decent game. You might disagree with me, you might have played it a lot back in the day, but it's all about different opinions really. If you only had this game and not much else, a kid's imagination would have made out a bit more of a big backstory. These people you were fighting might be the bullies from school or people on your favourite TV programme, and then it takes on a whole new dimension. I haven't got that, and that whole just playing it now, all I can see is the frailties of it and comparing it with other games back at the time. But yeah, Subway Vigilante, be glad to get off of the subway, get myself a Twix or something, or some other chocolate bar. If you're watching the company from Twix, you want to send me a big box of Twix for that mention, then let me know and I'll give you my address and I'll have Twixes turning up. Hooray! But at the moment, don't send me any Shakin' Stevens records though, not that he isn't a bad singer. Right. Backward and forward we go. Backward and forward, forward and backward, backward and forward. Guy of a club again. I'm playing this probably just over about 10 minutes, but it feels like I've been playing it for 16 hours. If you're still here with me, then well done you. You probably like other videos on the channel, so check out the ZXspectrum playlist. Might have a few of your favourites from back in the day, and more than likely a few that you've never heard of. Because as a kid, I certainly didn't know there was thousands of games. I probably thought there was under 100 because I just didn't know better. But here's Subway Vigilante. Be vigilant, don't buy the game. That is my advice for you. You know, it'll take ages to get to the next stage then. Bear in mind I'm playing this with a poke on for infinite energy. The counter's still on 8 of these people we've got to take out. I think you have to need to knock down each person about 4 times to for them to be gone. Perhaps on the first level it should have been that you only have to knock them down 2 times, then the game, we would have been on the next stage by then, and then ramped up. That's what they should have done. They should have had each person knocked down twice on the first level, and then from the next station then go up to 4. It started off too much to do to try and capture your interest, and there's a punk that's turned up running into me. Goodness gracious me. And still no trains have turned up. I think the train people are on strike. Oh dear. Yeah, I've had enough of this one. We'll leave Shaky Stevens behind, but yeah, I'm a bit underwhelmed here. The overall gameplay just doesn't cut it for me. So hope you liked having a look at that game. That was Subway Vigilante on the ZXspectrum 128K, published by Players Premiere in 1989. A $2.99 B-snap, so it's cheap enough. So if you've got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro, then please put that below. You're always more than welcome. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and are very fond. Goodbye.
Goodbye.